Waiting is a declaration of trust. Wow. The psalmist tells us that the eyes of the Lord are on those who fear him, on those whose hope is in his steadfast love. So while we wait, every time we are called to make a deliberate choice about where we place our hope, where we place our trust. I'm trusting in God. Waiting in hope means refusing to anchor our confidence in human strength, in human resources, or in temporal outcomes, no matter what you read on your Google News. And if you were to read, as I said, Psalm 33 in its entirety, you'd see that it explicitly rejects trust in military power, in human strategy, or in earthly security, reminding that ultimately none of them are safe and none of them can save you. It can turn in a moment. Instead, God calls his people to place their hope in his unfailing love, his sovereign care, and his power. So, practically speaking, this means continuing to live faithfully even when the answers are delayed. That obeying God when clarity is incomplete. Worshiping him when circumstances are uncertain. And praying with expectation rather than with resignation. I'm going to say that again. So waiting means to live faithfully even when the answers are delayed, right? Obeying God when clarity is incomplete, worshiping him when circumstances are uncertain, and praying with expectation rather than resignation. And when we do that, we're saying, God, I trust you. I trust your character. I trust you more than I trust my understanding. And our waiting becomes worship. It becomes worship when we choose to trust God's timing, when we choose to rely on his protection, when we choose to rest in the assurance that his steadfast love will never fail. You know, I think in just reflecting upon that psalm, I started on this journey to just beginning to explore that word again, yakal, and the other words for waiting within the Old Testament.